More stories in just a moment, but right now we have breaking news. We have just found out that reality shows are fake.
No, you're not.
But now there's videotaped proof.
Is all or part of the show scripted?
It's called reality, but it's a lot of acting.
We got video of Jocelyn Hernandez from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
She's getting sued by former co-star Althea Eaton over that big fight at their reunion show. She sits down for a deposition, and the lawyer asked about the show.
Is that the real you that we see on TV?
The reality TV show showcases, a lot of who we are not. That's not who Jocelyn Hernandez is.
And there's a script, basically, and all of it is set up for them.
What's interesting about it is that I'm sure her producers are pissed off, but her thing is, hey, I'm under oath. I gotta tell the truth. She could be prosecuted for perjury if she lied.
So Love and Hip Hop, fake!
Love and Hip Hop is one of the ones that's obviously fake.
We got a script from the Kardashians.
Fake.
The Hills.
Fake.
But The Housewives isn't scripted. Housewives is real.
Yes, that one's special.
If I had to put WWE up against the Real Housewives, I would take WWE every time.
Oh my God.
I've never seen a fight break out at a dinner party among women, except on reality television shows.
You're right, but when you put a camera there, it changes people. They're gonna ratchet it up.
You haven't hit me once in 8 years.
Well, what happened 8 years ago? Anyway, it's fake. Fake, fake, fake. It's all fake. Deal with it, people.
Why are we ruining everything?
We're not ruining it.
I want to pretend that the fights are real.
Denial! So thanks, Jocelyn, you big faker.
I feel like people go blonde when they want to change.
I don't care.
Don't believe everything you see on TV, even if it is marketed as reality. Most shows have a team of writers who decide where the story arc is going and how it gets there.
That's annoying.
So when a genre comes along and claims to remove any behind-the-scenes meddling with the story, audience expect that that show is being driven by the people on screen. But in some cases, that couldn't be further from the truth. Here's our list of 10 shocking secrets reality TV producers won't tell you. The Celebrity Apprentice. The showrunners of The Apprentice do their best to make it look like hard work, and for a long time, audiences bought it. But after a round of the show's popular Celebrity Edition, one star spoke out. Penn Jillette, one half of the famous duo Penn and Teller, wrote about his time as a contestant, and the reality is that the participants spend most of their time waiting around and doing nothing. Gillette also stated that even when competition time came around, they had nothing to do with the business. He compared the experience to being in junior high, saying the work is not very challenging and the people are crazy. As for the Donald, Gillette had some choice words for him too, and wrote that Trump's hair looks like cotton candy made of piss. The Bachelor. Audiences are in love with love, and producers have been capitalizing on that since day one. Perhaps the most blatant example comes from the form of ABC's The Bachelor. If you're unfamiliar with the show's premise, think of it like this. One bachelor goes shopping for his soulmate amongst a group of pre-selected ladies. With that much competition under one roof, things get pretty heated. And apparently, the producers fan the flames by filling the participants with booze. Multiple ex-contestants have stated that they were uncomfortable with the amount of alcohol on set, and constant suggestions that they should have more of it. One past contestant even alleges that she was kicked off the show for refusing a drink. Ah, true love. Keeping up with the Kardashians. There's no room for secrets in a court of law, so when the worlds of show business and criminal justice collide, the public gets a rare glimpse into what really goes on behind the scenes. And at one point, it was the Kardashian clan who had their day in court. During divorce proceedings between Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries, one of the editors of Keeping Up with the Kardashians testified that not all the show's drama is real. Some scenarios were fabricated by the team using footage that was edited out of context, and the whistleblower specifically mentioned cutting the show to make Humphries look like a colossal jerk. Duck Dynasty. How real does something have to be before it can be labeled reality TV? When it comes to Duck Dynasty, everyone has a different answer. The show came under fire after the stars let it slip that producers were in control of the storyline, not the family. The stars then backpedaled and emphasized that since they'd created all the dialogue, it's not a scripted show. But it turns out the family isn't in control of that either, as the editors have inserted bleeps to block out innocuous words, making the final scene look like a cuss-filled one. Dance Moms. Everything you need to know about the premise of Dance Moms can be found right there in the title. It follows the mothers of a young group of dancers as they interact with each other. Simple, right? Well, it's not actually that straightforward. To spice up the show and kick up the drama, showrunners stage situations to make the moms fight. And judging by how often that happens, they must be working overtime. So it would only be natural to assume that the ladies hate each other for real, right? Wrong. Apparently, as soon as the filming stops, all animosity disappears and it's like nothing ever happened. Talk about two-faced. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? If you've ever watched an episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and gotten every answer right, then this next tidbit is going to infuriate you. The thing that differentiates Millionaire from other trivia shows is its use of lifelines. If a contestant gets stuck, they're able to poll the audience, eliminate 2 wrong answers, or phone a friend who they think might know the answer. The only logical problem with that last one is that nobody can safeguard against a friend hopping on the internet to look up the answer. Turns out that wasn't actually a problem. There wasn't any rule specifically saying it wasn't allowed. The option was removed in 2010 anyway, when the lifeline got cut from the show. The Real Housewives of Orange County. Thanks to shows like The Hills and Laguna Beach, audiences have become fascinated with the lives of California elite, and will watch as tan blondes run a circuit of hair appointments, shopping dates, and manicures. Opponents have argued that this kind of entertainment is built on a lie, and that some situations would have completely different outcomes if producers truly were hands-off. But despite all the evidence that things aren't actually as they seem, fans were still shocked to learn that some of the moments of Real Housewives of Orange County weren't as genuine as they were led to believe. A text sent by one of the housewives confirmed that they were in on it and spoiled one of the show's biggest engagement reveals. House hunters. Finding a house can be a nightmare, and as it is with most nightmares, it's kind of entertaining to watch it happen to someone else. House Hunters chronicles the quest for a perfect home by following homeowner hopefuls as they compare 3 different places to live. The participants always end the show with a new home, so every episode has a happy ending. And they should, considering that everyone who applies to be on the show has to already own one of the houses. That's right, participants know which house they're going to buy because they've already bought it, which kind of ruins the whole thing. Cribs. Since there have been stars, there have been tour guides trying to make a buck off showing us where they live. MTV took that idea and ran with it with their show Cribs. If you've ever watched the show, you've probably fantasized about having your very own mansion. Add a couple of European sports cars, a pool, and a fridge stocked full of beer, and you've got yourself a good time. All segments start with the same premise, that the house they're about to see belongs to the celebrity giving the tour. So when one homeowner tuned into the show and saw Ja Rule giving a tour of her home, she filed a lawsuit. It turns out the rapper had rented the place for a weekend and played it off as his own for the crew.
Reality TV has the word reality in it, so it must be true, right? Wrong. There are a lot of factors in this genre of television that couldn't be further from the truth. Here are the biggest lies you still believe about reality TV. The Biggest Loser. The Biggest Loser is one of the most popular reality television game shows, as well as one of the most inspiring, as the show makes it seem like the contestants are losing weight through healthy ways like a good diet and exercise. However, contestants on the show have compared their experience to mental and physical torture, as they are forced to work out for hours each day and not eat a good diet, all so they can drop dozens of pounds of weight. Once their time on the show is over, former contestants deal with issues of their body trying to regain that weight, even if they're doing everything right. Judge Judy. Judge Judith Sheindlin did used to work as a judge in New York. That part is real, but the rest of the show seems to be more scripted reality instead of real life. Previous people on the show have said that their stories were picked up after producers sat in small claims court to hear their case, and then paid to have them flown to Los Angeles to reenact the case and judgment. Others have said that the show will pay for legal fees, and if the defendant loses, producers will foot the bill. Essentially, producers are paying for the story, so it's a win-win for both the plaintiff and the defendant to have their case on Judge Judy. Ghost Adventures / Ghost Hunters. Because of paranormal reality shows like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters, most people are convinced that those balls of light, otherwise known as orbs, in photos and video are ghosts trying to communicate with us. However, videographers and photographers will agree that orbs are nothing more than just reflections coming from dust, water, bugs, etc. Even the ones that are different colors or seem to float against the direction of the wind. This lie came about because sometimes ghost hunts can be long and boring with no scares at all, but there are always orbs because the locations tend to be dusty. We're not saying your dead relative isn't visiting you, but they're definitely not that dust ball that's reflecting a perfect sphere of light. Not to mention Ghost Hunters cast member Adam Berry is an actor, as well as Katrina Weidman from Paranormal Lockdown, and famous psychic Chip Coffey also has an acting background. Storage Wars. The reality show Storage Wars has many of us believing that you can make some great money fast by rummaging through other people's junk. However, the professional buyers on the show are nothing more than actors. Also, the people that they're bidding against, they're actually extras paid to stand there and seem like competition. Previous employees have also come out to say that the goods in the storage locker are planted by producers and were donated by local shops who get the free publicity in exchange when their merchandise is appraised on the show.
Mark Burnett, the producer of Survivor, said body doubles have been used and stand-ins to shoot some of the scenes on the show. But the creator of the hit show claimed there was nothing wrong with the practice. "I couldn't care less. I'm making great television," he said. The series of Survivor in question was shot on a tiny tropical island in Malaysia, with 16 contestants competing against themselves, although challenges set by producers were often performed by body doubles. Kitchen. It has been speculated that the famous cooking show is indeed scripted. During the second season of Hell's Kitchen, it was speculated that the customers eating meals prepared by the contestants were in fact paid actors. One of the most controversial accusations of staging relates to the contestant Joseph Tinnerly, who, during one elimination round, challenged Ramsay to a fight. The incident was labelled as an overplayed and possibly fake scene, conducted to cause action and tension on the show in order to spark viewer interest. Wives. Bravo's Real Housewives franchise has lately hit a new low with fake cancer. Brooks Ayres, a cast member of the Real Housewives of Orange County, claimed for at least a season to be suffering from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, going so far as to proffer bills from a California hospital for the chemotherapy he supposedly received there. He was forced to issue a deeply apologetic statement, admitting they were fake, when the hospital issued its own statement denying he'd ever been treated there.
My Ride. As one of MTV's biggest hits, Pimp My Ride was a show where people got their cars remodeled and redesigned with some crazy aesthetics like a robot arm, televisions, and amped up engines to make their cars look incredible. However, once cameras stopped rolling, that was when the designs were taken off of the car as well as the cool gadgets because they typically go against safety laws and even infringe on seatbelt usage. So it was all for show and most of it wasn't real. Man vs. Wild. Bear Grylls' claim to fame is being a survivalist on his show Man vs. Wild and has been sought after for his expert knowledge on survival in places like the woods and making decisions that can make a difference between life and death. On Man vs. Wild, Grylls had a camera crew following him on his adventures where we saw him do things like drink his own urine, build a raft, battle the elements, and even get attacked by a bear. However, things are not quite as dramatic as they seem, and Grylls doesn't do as much as we think. The crew built the raft, and Grylls has been known to go to a nice cozy hotel room at night after filming. Plus, he didn't really battle a bear on camera, it was his crewman in a bear suit. Alaskan Bush People. The Discovery Channel wants us to believe that the stars of Alaskan Bush People, also known as the Brown family, were a recently discovered family that was living in the wild and off the grid. However, as the show continued to air, the lies began to be revealed. During season 1 of the show, Alaskan locals realized that the Brown family lived right off of a major highway, and that there was a pizza place just down the street. Also, wildlife experts have debunked the family's stories about their encounters with wild animals.
Photoshop is a natural part of celebrities' lives. I mean, they gotta look good all the time, but sometimes our favorite stars go a bit overboard with the retouching, giving us some awkward photos. Here's a list of the top 10 most cringe-worthy Photoshop fails. Starting with the queen of Photoshop herself, Miss Kim Kardashian. Now, celebs have gotten real good with apps lately, but back in the day, it was pretty easy to tell when someone altered a photo, and fans were quick to point out that crooked wall in this one. Oops. And yes, that is Blac Chyna, by the way. Speaking of Kim, she's also number 2 on our list for the case of the missing arm. Kim tried to cinch in her waist for a photo with her pal John Cebrian, but oops, she chopped off her arm in the process. Awkward. Also, super awkward when a celeb isn't even the one who does the photoshopping, and this happens more than you think. But thankfully, some stars are speaking out against this practice, like Meghan Trainor, who pointed out on Instagram that she was skinified without her permission in her own music video. And Kerry Washington, who looked completely unrecognizable on the cover of Adweek. The Scandal star went straight to her fans to address the airbrush fail. "I was taken aback by the cover," she wrote on Instagram. And Queen Zendaya addressed her Photoshop fail in Model List magazine. The mag slimmed her already super skinny legs and waist way too much. "Anyone who knows who I am knows I stand for honest and pure self-love," the 19-year-old actress wrote on Instagram. And then there's the celebs who address their Photoshop controversies even when they're the ones who committed the crime. Khloe Kardashian fans went nuts when the reality star showed off her abs on Instagram, which were amazing. amazing, by the way. The crooked door strikes again. Everyone quickly noticed Khloe had photoshopped her hips to make them look smaller, which she didn't need to do. Khloe, you look amazing. But the reality star went ahead and took the hate and then posted the original unedited photo on Instagram, which if you ask us, looks exactly the same. Don't change a thing, girl. Queen Beyonce is number 7 and 8 on our list with 2 different Photoshop fails. The first one caused so much controversy when she posted a few photos of herself playing golf. In one photo, however, the singer's thigh gap was out of control, and not in a good way. Fans went crazy, claiming Photoshop failed. But Beyonce didn't learn her lesson. A few months later, the queen was caught in another controversy with her thigh gap again. They was on a staircase that was awkwardly bent, a telltale sign of photoshopping. And if anyone knows that's not the way to edit a photo, it's Lindsay Lohan and her crazy crooked staircase. Either this actress lives in the strangest house ever, or she's committed a Photoshop faux pas. And the final Photoshop controversy on our list, Britney Spears. So the pop star has been working out non-stop lately, and it's paid off. She looks amazing, which is why fans were so up in arms about this photo. Brit's body is laid out perfectly by the pool, but oops. She over-photoshopped her waist, making it look way too small. The grass disappeared, revealing the mistake. Here's the thing, none of these stars even needed the Photoshop. They're more than perfect as is, am I right?